Hello, I'm Peaceful Nik the Medium. I'm an evidential medium specializing in helping people heal. Tonight I'll be joined by Medium Kathi Behrens. We're going to discuss relationships and love, and we're also going to be doing some free readings towards the second half. For me, hello everyone who's joining and watching the replay. For me, I would like to tell you that I have some specials going on for. I have a buy one get one free coupon. Once you book a full priced full reading, you will get a free reading for any time between now and 6 months from now. But you have to book it before February 29th. Hi, Kathy. I also
Hi.
a week 24 coupon for weekday readings. You'll save $61 on a weekday reading. I have a free class February 10th. You can sign up on my website. March 16th, my beginner's mediumship mentorship starts. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel because I'll be doing a lot of lives there as well. Hi, Kathy.
Hello.
How's it going? Did you get any rest?
I am rested, yeah.
I did not get much rest. With my new schedule, everything's a little
Sure.
crazy.
I bet, but aren't you excited?
Oh, you have no idea.
Yeah.
Hi to everyone who's joining. Kathy, if you want to do an intro, I already did my quick intro.
Oh, sure. So hi everybody that's joining. My name is Kathi Behrens. I'm a certified evidential medium, which means that I connect with your loved ones in spirit, bring forward pieces of evidence, which means things that you would understand, only you would understand, things that relate to you and your relationship with your loved one in spirit. I bring through that evidence to validate for you that life continues after this life. And that our loved ones are always with us, and are watching us, watching over us, and they know, what we're doing, and they just want to help and guide us. So, yeah. And I'm very happy to be here with Peaceful Nik tonight and give some messages.
I'm so excited. And I have a couple of videos coming out tomorrow on TikTok and YouTube. One is an orb video that a client sent me. I think she sent it to you also.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I put it on my phone and kind of adjusted the lighting. It's amazing. So everybody check that out. And then another one, I was just walking around outside one day and I was just answering some TikToks, questions on it. And a woman asked about her son and is he with her? I was like, yes, and just explaining how it worked. And then all of a sudden he was there. And so I'm in the middle of recording this like minute-long video. And he's like, talk about the little trinket you put in my honor on your mantle. And so I just blurted it out in the video and she responded and then emailed me a picture of it. And so tomorrow, so I like cut together a little video that'll come out tomorrow. So sometimes you're just walking through the park like I was and just answering a video and there they are because some are so strong.
Yeah.
Do you have that experience?
Oh, sure. They want to get their message across and they'll get your attention any way they can. And I made a few posts about this on Facebook that Spirit has really been using my database and my life experiences lately to get their point across. So yes, they will use anything and any opportunity they can to reach their loved ones.
Also, I was doing a YouTube live. Hi everyone, thank you for joining. We're going to get to some readings in a little bit once we get going. I was doing a live with Billy Rubino about his near-death experience yesterday or the day before. And all day from the time I woke up, this woman was there talking to me all day. And obviously I didn't have his permission to do a reading, so I didn't do a reading. But he is getting a reading from me because this woman, oh, hi, Debbie. Yeah, I was just talking about it. This woman would not leave me alone. Just all day long. And the whole time I'm talking to him, she's talking to me and I'm like, I can't do that now. You have to wait. Right. So it's interesting. Hello to everyone. Kathy, do you want to? I don't think I can comment on here anymore. I don't know what
Oh, did I
happened. There
take
was
your comments away?
I don't know. It's probably here, but you know me when I start pressing buttons. But I used to just be able to type right on here. So I was going to type your
Oh,
website in.
okay. I could do that. Yeah.
Okay. Hi. Hi, everyone. Are there insect spirits and bacteria spirits? I love this question as a person who's a scientist and a medium. That's a great question. The answer is, in my belief, anything with higher order thinking, anything with a brain that is developed enough to be able to, let's say dogs, for instance. Dogs are like family oriented animals, right? They come in packs evolutionarily. Wolf pack, everybody's heard that term. Cats, they can't show the ability to love. Now, they might act like they don't care about you and you're their pet, but they have higher order thinking. Elephants, dolphins, all of the organisms with higher order brains that are well developed brains will have a soul. That's my experience and my belief. Horses, ferrets. I think, Kathy, you gave a ferret reading to my husband once. Was that you that gave the ferret reading?
I don't
We were
remember.
doing a group or something, and a ferret came. I think it was you.
Yeah, I don't, that's the funny thing about readings. Sometimes you just don't remember. It's like,
Oh, I know. I know. There are clients that'll pop on, and I'm like, you look familiar, but I've done, you know how it is. You do so many readings, you can't remember everything. Hi, Dawn. Hi, everyone. I'm glad you guys are all here. And so tonight, so I've been kind of throwing around this idea of whenever we do lives, have a theme. And so I think since it's February and things can be rough in February for some people, it's not always love and happiness and, candy hearts for everyone because some people need a little extra love. And so I was thinking we could talk about love, relationships, and or loss of partner. Hello, Wounded Womb, and Glenda, and people with a bunch of numbers. Hi, Kelly. I used to try to say all the numbers, and I don't do that anymore.
user 1141.
Hello. So I get a lot of questions, and you know this, Kathy, and I'm sure you get it too on your lives, that is this person right for me? Hi from Kansas City. Is this the right person? Am I going to meet the right person? Is the guy I met at the hardware store today the person I'm going to be with? What do you say when people ask you that?
Oh, wow. It's case by case, right? It's you connect to that individual person. So it all depends on the energy and what you feel. So it could be different. It's different for everybody. Yeah. So there really isn't there's just not one standard answer for that. But there are people that, when you ask, so there was something I wanted to touch on before. So what you were saying before about, am I going to meet the right person or whatever? But I wanted to talk about something that people ask me a lot is this my soulmate? And what if I got divorced, or, will I see that person again? Or if I have multiple partners, who am I going to be with in the spirit world? So that question I get all the time. Do you get that question too?
Yes. But what do you say?
So for me, that one I can answer very broadly, and that is, you are connected at the soul level with those people. If you were divorced here in this physical world, it doesn't matter in the spiritual world because you are connected at the soul level. Mm-hmm. So you are going to be connected with everybody that you loved and in this lifetime and all the lifetimes before. So that's what I believe, and that's what Spirit has always said. It doesn't matter if if you had a partner that transitioned before you and you get remarried or you get into another relationship, you are always connected at the soul level. So you will be reunited with those that you have shared love with. Is that how?
Yeah, I think that's a great answer. And I agree, because people who say soulmate or the only one for me, I think there are many different people we can love in our life, and it's not just one person. And just because you marry one person and you may get divorced and then you marry another person, you still at one point had, even if it was volatile, had love for the first person, and they came into your life for a reason. You learned something, even if it ended terribly. What did you learn? You learned, oh, don't get in a relationship with a person like that anymore. But because of our soul contract, which I don't know if you use that term, Kathy, do you use that term?
Sometimes I always say soul plan.
Soul plan. Yeah. Okay. That sounds, but yeah, I like that. I've said it both ways.
Mm-hmm.
The plan we make in spirit, we decide, okay, we want to have these challenges. And so maybe that first husband or wife or partner was put in your life for that challenge. And then the next partner, but at the soul level, they're not a mean, bad narcissist or whatever. Were there in your life to teach you something. And then there was a question. There's a couple of questions. Is it wrong if you've lost your husband not to want to be with anyone else? No, I don't think that's wrong. Your husband wouldn't be mad if you were with somebody else. They would want you to have love and companionship, but if you don't want to be, I don't think that's wrong at all. I don't think I would ever want to be with anyone else if I lost my husband. Like, I can't even imagine that at all. But who knows, in 10 or 20 years, hopefully I live who knows what'll happen, but I understand exactly what you mean. Mourning your partner is hard. And then Allie says, thank you for the heart hands. And if you don't want to be reunited.
Well, that is an emotion here in the physical world, right? That is something that we feel here. And like you said, that person or those people were put in our lives for a reason. We chose that reason. When we came to Earth or came to this physical world, and it's not the same in the spirit world. It's not the same at the soul level. So what you feel here is going to be completely different I always like to say when you go back home, when you go back to the spirit world, because that's where our soul is from. So there won't be those negative feelings connected to that soul.
And that, I think, is why sometimes it makes perfect sense. Sometimes when you're doing a reading, someone comes through, and this happens sometimes. It doesn't happen often, but occasionally it has happened. The client or sitter doesn't want to hear from that person because maybe they had a bad relationship. But I have found that every time that happens, I always give my client a choice. If you don't want to talk to them, I'll ask them to go away. Sometimes they're pretty forceful because they want to apologize and explain just what you said. That their soul is pure, absolutely pure. The human part was because we need to learn a lesson or grow our soul or whatever, overcome something. So yeah, that has been discussed. Let's see, I'm trying to think and read at the same time. Sorry, I'm a little
I have to say, I watched your painting the other day and that was amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm going to work on it some more. It's sitting right here, actually. I'm going to work on it some more, probably Monday. Hi, welcome, Rachel. We are mediums. We took some classes together. That's how we met. We've had circles together, and we've been doing lives together for what, over a year for sure, at least. You think, Kathy?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. hmm I just saw that. It went away. B. Troyer says, "Will my husband always be with me here, or will he leave eventually, leave and live on in heaven?"
Ooh, good one.
Go ahead. I'll let you
Oh,
start.
no. You go.
Oh, okay.
You go.
So I believe that your husband's soul will always be, at least a part of his soul will always be with you. Our soul is like infinite. You can't even describe how large our soul is. So a part of your husband's soul will always be with you. So his soul will never leave you. So I hope you take comfort in knowing that, even if part of his soul ascends, part of his soul will still be with you. And how do you feel about that, Nicole?
I agree completely because, like you said, our soul is so big and only a tiny part inhabits our body. But to just add on to what you said, our soul can literally be in 10, 20, 100 places at once because there's, without going into a big science talk, there's different dimensions. I bore people sometimes with all that. There's different dimensions.
I love that you can explain it.
Oh, thank you. There's different dimensions, and the quantum realm, if you look into quantum computing, and I think I've mentioned this before, quantum computing can do like a million calculations in like a microsecond. And that's kind of how our soul is. It's the quantum world does not follow, and this is physics, this isn't mediumship, it just happens to be the same, because the universe, our souls are in the universe. The quantum world does not follow the laws of the regular world. We are made of quantum material inside our atoms of our cells and body, and it's so small you can't even conceive of how small it is, but that's a scientific fact. And so our soul is part of that quantum world because it's pure energy. And so our soul can be in many places at once, in our body, at the neighbor's house, in Europe, whatever, wherever it wants to be, it can be. And it's amazing, and it's kind of mind-blowing. If you're interested in stuff like that, look up the double slit experiment, which talks about particles and the behavior and how scientists can't explain why particles of energy and photons do the weird things they do. And that's kind of how the energy of our soul works. It does weird stuff. We can't understand it. Scientists still can't explain the double slit experiment and why it does it. But that's the same kind of stuff our soul does. It can do whatever it wants, and we can't control it or explain it. It just does. It just does it. So you don't have to worry. Your loved ones are with you anytime. As soon as you type that, there he was. You can call to him anytime. I know that was a very long explanation. Sorry, I could talk about science a long time.
Kelly loves it when you put your fancy pants on.
I actually have shorts I bought from Walmart on about 15 years ago, so they're not that fancy.
Hey, it works.
I'm a frugal medium. And then someone else, is it possible, Ivana says, is it possible for my son's spirit to be in my home? Yes, and for the exact reason we both just explained. They can be anywhere and everywhere all at once, like that movie, right? If you guys saw that movie from last year, I think it's Anywhere, Everywhere, All at Once or something. It was awesome. If you haven't seen it, watch it. It's not about the spirit world, but it's about multiple dimensions. Catherine, will my husband always hear me talk to him.
Just like we said, yep.
Yep.
And you don't even have to speak the words out loud. It is just what you're thinking in your mind, right?
Yep.
You set that intention to say, hi, how are you? I'm thinking about you. Anything that you're saying in your mind. And that's how spirit communication works, right? It's telepathic.
Because it's energy. And just like I said before, so I always like to describe it as we have antenna on our head. And as soon as Catherine or anybody else, as soon as that thought, it's like a radio antenna, if you're old enough to remember radio antennas. We don't really see them anymore. You have a little antenna on your head, and that thoughts are made of energy. Our brain is made of electrochemical, conductions, and that's energy. And so you have a thought and it goes out your antenna into the universe. And so your husband or your son or your loved one that energy frequency will match, and they'll pick up on it and they'll be like, oh, I'm right here. That's how mediumship works.
And it's also important to realize that our loved ones aren't in some faraway place. Their energy is right here. Their energy is right around you. So they're not far away. It'd be interesting if we could like turn off the lights and there's a black light and you could just see all the energy that's around. It'd be so cool just to see.
I often wonder, and I don't know why science is on my mind so much right now, but there's something called the electromagnetic spectrum. For those of you watching, it's, radio waves, gamma rays, X-rays, ultraviolet rays, light. The light we see is this teeny tiny part of the whole spectrum. And I've often wondered if there's another part of the spectrum we haven't discovered where you could get, because we have all kinds of mechanisms to see X-ray, microwave. Your microwave is part of that spectrum. Gamma rays, we can see all those. Soldiers and cops wear those goggles, those night vision goggles. That's the same thing. So if we could discover a way to see that other part of the spectrum, the spirit world, undiscovered, how awesome would that be? Can you imagine? It'd be like going in the Haunted Mansion when they're dancing in the little dining room. That's my favorite part. You could see them all the time. It would be great. I'm getting off topic. Freddie said, is it true that when your loved ones pass away, they can see what you are doing? Yep, 100%. Anything they want. They don't really care about private times or intimate things you're doing or when you're taking a shower. They just care about your soul's growth. Really, that's it. You have any comments on that?
So I 100%, that's like one of the most common questions we get asked, right? Do they see us in our intimate moments? Are they with us when we're, and
in the bathroom?
Yeah. And if you think about it, in the spirit world, it's like, it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
It just doesn't matter. They're just there for you on a soul level, supporting, guiding, loving. So, yeah.
Exactly. All right.
They're not like sitting there with binoculars looking at you like, whoa.
You shouldn't be doing that. Yeah, it's not, like what some people tell us, right? Okay. They're kind of going like this, so I'm not sure where we were. Setting intentions is so important. Yes, Jessica. I know, Kelly, I was being funny. She said, no, I'm talking about your knowledge. Oh. I knew what you meant. Oh. I'm a little self-deprecating sometimes. Hello. All right, let's see. What do we have here? Hi, Ashley. Yeah, Dawn says that would be cool. I think she's talking about the little...
Yeah, if we could see. Yeah, if we could see.
BMF said, are all spirits the same entity ultimately, or part of the same spirit quantum field? I love that term, spirit quantum field. I'm writing that down, BMF. I'm writing it down. I'm going to give you credit for that when I quote it.
And I'm going to let you answer that.
I got to write his username down so I don't forget to credit. I'm a big stickler on trying to remember to credit people. I don't think spirits are all the same entity. I think spirits can be around any spirit they want, but there's like billions of them. I think the spirit quantum field that you have is copyright Taylor, right? You can communicate with any spirit you want through telepathy in the quantum field of the spirit world. I love that term. You should email me so I can, we can talk about that. But no, they're not all the same. They're separate, but they're all part of growing towards source, but you have to evolve. So there's a hierarchy it's not like hierarchy here on earth where you've got, kings and peasants and, homeless people. It's a different type of, everybody's kind of learning at their own pace, kind of like homeschooled kids, right? Homeschooled kids are all kind of learning at their own pace. And, there's no grades as far as 4th grade, 5th grade. I guess maybe there are, but they still learn at their own pace. So no, it's separate, but all connected. Did that make sense?
Yep. Well, for me it did. Thank you.
But I love that term.
Yeah, that's good.
Cassandra said, I'm always so worried they aren't around me.
I would ask, why are you worried? Why are you worried that they're not around you? Part of the connection and part of your connection is believing, right? If you have to be open and believe and just know that they are. So I would ask you, why do you think that? Because they are.
Yeah, that's a good question. It's usually fear, I would say. Being, just being afraid.
That they're not there.
For, emotional reasons, people who are traumatized or still working through some stuff.
So she said, because I'm feeling guilt for not being there when they passed.
Ooh. You
So,
want to address it?
So I do want to address this because actually right before this, Peaceful Nik and I were talking about, we're going to open up and talk about relationships and in the spirit world. And I just had a reading Tuesday. And the very first thing that when I connected to spirit, he said it was a husband for his wife. He said, you didn't do anything wrong. It happened the way it was supposed to. I need you to release that guilt. There was nothing you could have done. It was the very first thing he needed to get. That was his message. And that was the very first thing that came through, which comes through a lot, right? Mm-hmm. There's you should release any guilt that you feel, because even if you weren't there to say goodbye, you weren't there when they transitioned. It happened the way it was supposed to happen.
Exactly. And I agree 100%. And sometimes, and I follow hospice nurse Julie.
Yep.
Everybody should follow her. And she has talked about this a lot. Sometimes people wait for you to leave, or they know you're on the way and they pass before you get there, just because that's the choice they made, that they think they can't handle it if they're here when I pass, or whatever they decide is what they decided. And it's not, it's no offense to anyone. It's just how they feel it should be.
my cousin was on hospice, and she decided she wanted to see a couple people, and then she said, "That's it, I'm done." And then she wanted to be alone. But that was her personality in life. So of course that was what she would choose, right? Because she was very private person. So that's what she chose. So sometimes you aren't meant to be there, just like Peaceful Nik said.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And it's the person, because we have free will, it's our choice. We have free will as a human and as a soul. It's our choice to pass the way we choose to pass. And it's not to hurt anybody. It's just for a variety of reasons, the way people decide. Catherine said, is there any way to have intimacy in the spirit world? There's really no reason to have physical intimacy because we don't have physical bodies. I've read that people can make a physical body, like, but
You're welcome.
there's no, I mean, it's so different from what I'm just trying to like think of a way to explain it. It's such a different vibe. It's not like here. Physical looks, characteristics, feelings, it's not the same there. It's a totally different thing.
And you can experience intimacy in many different ways, right? So just think of it as, the way I think of it is, it's just love. It's just the level of love, maybe, or I don't know. Like you said, it's really hard to explain because we think of the physical world and what that means here. But I just think that we can express intimacy in different ways, in different levels of love, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Relationships with people change over time, right? Maybe when you're first in love, you have a lot of physical intimacy on earth. But if you've been married 60 years or 50 years, you're probably having intimacy in a totally different way. You realize there are other things that are more satisfying or desirable when your body changes and your heart and mind and everything kind of evolves differently. So it's not always about, the S word.
Right. So yes, I guess, right. Intimacy evolves as our soul evolves, right?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And when people say, "Oh, that just gave me a bunch of information," a download, I guess. We don't, when you hear people, I'm just trying, sorry, I'm a little, you hear people say, "We grew apart." I was talking to someone yesterday, outside of my mediumship. It had nothing to do with mediumship. It was just having a conversation with somebody. And they were saying that they were ending their marriage of, I don't know, 20 years or something. And I was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, blah, blah, blah." And they said, "We just grew apart." And you're either going to grow apart or you're going to grow together when you're in a long marriage. I'm in a long marriage, you're in a long marriage, right? You either go away or together, and there's no, or you just live separately miserably. The goal is to grow together and evolve together, and needs and desires change over time. The more your soul grows, you're like, "Oh, I'm a grown up now. I don't need to do this, and that, and to be satisfied. There's other things I can be satisfied with as well." I feel like it is, but is it harder to connect with someone when you are still grieving their loss?
In my experience as a medium, yes. When someone is in deep grief, heavy grief, it tends to block the energy. So it is much harder to connect. So.
And that's why we say wait 3 to 6 months minimum before you book a reading with a medium. You shouldn't. Now, obviously, we can't control who's booking mediumship readings on our website and when and how long it's been, and we won't know. We won't know, right? Until
no.
We may never know. But
And
you shouldn't be in the depths of grief when you book a reading.
And I've had instances where, sometimes you're just not ready to accept the information that's given. So that's also another, you have to think about, are you actually ready? Is your heart ready? Are you able to accept the information that Spirit is going to give you? Because Spirit is going to give you what you need, not necessarily what you want. Not necessarily what you want to hear, but what you need to hear. So you have to make sure that you are ready and open to receiving those messages.
Exactly. Hi, Miss Molly Knows. Oh, I'm glad you're here.
Miss Molly Knows lives on a sailing catamaran too.
I saw that and I thought, and she's like always going. I love the dances she's out there doing with her husband. That's awesome. And the other day, I think she was doing.
Matt to do
that. She was doing a live or something, and I could hear the water clicking on the boat. I'm like, that is awesome. The hospice nurse is Hospice Nurse Julie. I believe that's what her screen name still is.
There's also Hospice Nurse Penny. She's great too. And those two collaborate a lot.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I will follow the other hospice nurse. Yes, yes. Oh, thank you, Molly. Oh, that is so sweet. I'm so happy. I guess I found you through Kathy. I don't remember. I don't remember. Let's see.
Her sailing catamaran their name is the Mediumship. Isn't that awesome?
Oh, I love that. That is so cool. I didn't know that. That is awesome. Jessica said, I can see that my mom has been gone 8.5 years, but her passing was quick. She talks to my daughter all the time that she never met, but haven't been able to connect with her yet. Yeah, that sometimes that happens. And my brother-in-law took years before he came through. And now he's kind of hilarious because I think I've told the story before. His name is David, and he's very stubborn in life. My husband and I were very close to him. And everywhere we go, David is waiting on us at the restaurant, at the Starbucks, at, the gas station, or wherever we go, there's a David there. And the other day, we were at Starbucks, and in front of us, they called David, and we're like, obviously. And then 30 seconds later, there was a second David, and they go, David. My husband is very supportive of my mediumship, and he's like, I guess you could just mark it down now. Every time we go somewhere, David's gonna be there. It's kind of like he's being goofy and funny by, putting us in the path of all those Davids. So we think about him, which is awesome.
Oh, Miss Molly just said, my brother is a David.
Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome. Carol said, when you are sleeping, can your loved ones in spirit touch your spirit and you wake up with them? I'm not sure exactly what you mean. Can they touch your spirit? I mean, they can come around you all the time. I'm not exactly sure. Do you know what that means, Kathy?
I don't know if she's saying, like, can they, make themselves, make their presence known, like if you can feel them. Sometimes they can manipulate the energies where you can feel their presence. Yeah. If that's what you're asking, yes. Definitely. And when we are sleeping is when we are closest to the veil, right? So that is when because our human minds are shut off. I
There's a
actually feel
whole
like
there's
it
a whole
vibrates.
brainwave thing about that, the thetas,
Right,
and I'm not a neurologist, but I know there's like brain waves, and when you go into certain sleep state,
right.
that's when all the good stuff happens. And I want to, speaking of that, I want to ask you a question, Kathy. I have always had millions of dreams every night, and I wake up so tired. And I say to my guides, now that, since especially becoming a medium, please let me sleep peacefully. Please don't give me, because I feel like I'm living like the guy in Avatar. I have my human life, and then I go to sleep and they plug me in and I have this other whole life. Now, they're not really recurring dreams or anything, but they're vivid, strong dreams. And I'm like, I don't know how to make them stop. I'm asking my guides, and here they just keep coming. Do you experience vivid dreams?
Oh, all the time. All the time. And it's funny you mentioned that because I'll even have dreams where I'm like giving readings in my dreams. It's
That
strange.
just happened to me for the first time a couple nights ago. I was dreaming that my eyebrows were falling out because I have to draw my eyebrows on because of my Hashimoto's. And then I was giving a reading, but I had to draw my eyebrows on before before I gave the reading. And it was just so crazy. And I'm like, wow, I was dreaming about giving a reading. That's so funny. That happens to you too. Um, Kelly said I read we're more awake when we sleep. Yep, some people believe that for sure. For sure. Oh, we got a lot of likes on here, Kathy.
Oh,
Look
yeah.
at that. We got a steady stream of people. Um, I'm just trying to look back through.
So, we were talking about, I wanted to mention this because I thought it was so awesome. We were talking about the month of February and Valentine's Day and how it can be hard. Well, I was giving a reading the other day, and it was just so amazing because just like that, the woman's husband came through and he was talking about Valentine's Day in February. And I'm like, well, okay, give me more. I mean, we need more evidence. And he's like, we'll say happy birthday and Valentine's Day. So I'm like, so I tell my client, he's coming through and he's talking about February being an important month. And I know it's Valentine's Day, but he also wants to say happy birthday and like we need to celebrate. And his wife was like, we had a 3-day celebration every year because it was Valentine's Day, his birthday, and my birthday, the 14th, 15th, and 16th.
That's amazing.
And I just thought, how amazing is that he brought that through. And then he said, eat the cake. And she said, we always would get a cake and we would eat it for 3 days straight, like a sheet cake, and eat it 3 days straight. So that just shows how connected our loved ones in spirit are still to us. So I hope that I just wanted to give that story because I hope it gives people a little bit of hope and peace knowing that our loved ones are still very much present and aware of what's going on in our lives. And that meant a lot to her to hear that he knows that that's coming up and he still wants her to eat the cake.
And it's probably very hard for her because, those 3 special days in a row, and now he's in spirit. So it's probably very comforting to her to hear that. Wonderful. Beautiful validation for your client. Beautiful. I love when spirit tells you things that you may think is odd as a medium, like, what does that have to do with anything? And then you say it and they're like, oh my God, that is so important and so meaningful. Or my favorite is when you say something to your client and the client says, I asked my loved one to mention that if you're a real medium, mention such and such. And then that's like the best. You know, you're like, yes, because you know, not because I'm the best, because I help this person understand their loved one is still around them and listening to them, and they can communicate with them themselves. You don't need a medium all the time to talk to your loved ones. You can talk to your loved ones anytime you want.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, it's being real. How amazing and comforting and heartbreaking. Yeah. Yeah. It's you know, I don't know how you feel about this, Kathy, but I've said this many times. I used to have very severe death panic attacks before I was a medium, like up until I was a medium in my late 40s. And like 4 or 5 nights a week, I'd wake up screaming. Not like crying for hours, just like I'd wake up out of a dead sleep and and like panic, and then I'd go to sleep. So it wasn't like a whole night long thing, but it was still a panic attack, you know, a little mini one. And then I became a medium, and all that disappeared. It's never happened again. And now I have this completely and people may take it wrong, but I'm like super matter of fact, like I don't really worry about it, you know, for myself. Now I don't want to lose my loved ones, obviously, but for me, I'm like, not really that worried about it.
Just puts a different perspective because you're just now aware that consciousness survives death, right? Like, this is just a physical body housing our soul, right? Our soul is infinite, our soul lives on. So once you understand that, it is less scary, right?
Yeah, and yeah, because my fear wasn't physical pain. I've given birth with no epidural twice. So I'm not afraid of pain. My fear was that nothing happens. That was my fear. Like that it just is black and that's it. Like you're gone. And it's like, I was like, how can that be? How can that be? I knew enough about science to know that our brain is an energy field, but then most of the scientists I know are atheists. And so I would go in the spiral of, oh my God, it's going to be blank. I'm going to just be gone. Like, how can I just disappear? How can my consciousness just disappear? And I would just do this whole thing. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. And then I became a medium. And I'm like, the things that have come through in my readings, if that's not proof of an afterlife, then I'm just a really good mind reader, you know, which is awesome also, but I don't think I'm that good of a mind reader.
Yeah, no. I don't think, I mean, how could you like say some of the things
Yeah.
like one reading I was giving, I said, so he's wearing these boots and I could see him like stomping his foot all the time. And she was like, oh my God, I forgot what he was. I think he was in, where you do concrete or whatever, but he always had to like shake the concrete or whatever off his boots.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like, that's something, how would I know? It's like, that's not something you put on social media. Well, I hope you wouldn't put on social media.
Yeah.
Those are just like crazy little details that have to come from spirit. Like I'm seeing him like stomping his foot, getting all the stuff off his boot, like before he comes in the house, he's got concrete on his shoe,
Yeah, and when you said that's not stuff you put on social media, the thing with that legitimate mediums will get people saying, oh, you found that information online. Yeah. That's not how it works. First of all, there have been mediums for a long time, thousands of years, and there was no online until 20 years ago. Thank you. I miss you guys too. It's a short story, actually. Sorry, I've got some visitors from, you know.
Yeah, saw that.
It's a story I can't tell. I'll tell you that. Anyway, I prefer not to know who I'm about to talk to. Like, first name's fine, fake name's fine. The less I know, the better. You could use a fake email when you book a reading. As long as you're over 18 and you're an adult. And I'm saying that because I have a guest on here that I don't think is of age. I'm glad. You should probably change your screen name, though. But anyway, I'm just going back through the comments. I think when you lose a loved one that's so close, I look at death differently now. Yeah. Since I lost my husband, Catherine says, I haven't been afraid of dying. Just know that there's a reason you're still alive and live out your full natural life, and the world is better with you in it. It is, I understand. I think we've all experienced tragic losses in our life and have made us, think a lot of different things, but you are a valued member. Oh boy, a whole bunch of comments just came in. Okay, so for all of my special guests that are telling me how much they miss me, I just have to say this to my special guests. I miss you very much, and mediumship did not match what I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to say it without
It wasn't in the best interest of both parties?
Yes, that's excellent. I could not think. Yes, it wasn't in the best interest of both parties. And no, I will not be returning, and I am very sorry. I was sad. It didn't work out. Yes. And I know you miss me. You can always contact me through my Mars Society email. So look me up on the Mars Society and you'll find my email there, if anybody's interested in Mars. But that's yeah. Anyway, sorry everyone who doesn't understand what just happened, but okay, so
would you like to do some readings?
I would. Yes, he is staying. I would. So while you want to go first, because I have to run down the hall and grab a tissue box.
Sure.
I've got allergies, and I'm out of tissues. So I will be right back in 30 seconds to a minute.
Okay. So for everybody that's here, I want to just thank you for being here. I'm going to connect to the spirit world. I'm going to bring through some information. I'm going to go spirit guided at first. We'll see how it goes. So if you recognize 80 to 100% of the information that I'm saying, please put yes in all caps in the chat. It's also helpful if you could put yes 80%, yes 90%. Also, if I come to you, if you could put yes in all caps, and then if I, give you a bit of information, like I'm just throwing it out there. If they talk about a hat, say yes hat. Okay, so type yes in all caps if you can understand the information that I'm bringing through. I'm going to go spirit guided. A lot of you probably already know what that means. So I'm going to go to the spirit world. They're going to give me information. And then I'm going to present it to you. So just give me 1 second so I can connect. Okay. The first thing I need to talk about is the name Dan or Daniel. So I know I have a Dan or a Daniel. So this would either be your loved one in spirit, or somebody that's very connected to your loved one in spirit. I also want to bring through his personality, because he is making me feel like he has a big, bold personality. Very big and bold. And he would say that he is also very big. And he is, but he wants to say he's a very softy at heart. Okay. So he's a softy at heart. So so he's like a big teddy bear, he wants to say. So I do know that I have somebody in spirit, either his name is Dan or Daniel, or somebody connected to him is Dan or Daniel. He is coming through with a very strong personality, and he wants me to talk about he's a softy at heart. And I think and he's also showing me like heart tattoos. Okay. Let me just go back in the comments. Okay, so I see Suzanne says yes. Ivana says yes. Okay. Would you understand, and he has a tattoo, would you understand a heart tattoo? Because you just had me draw a heart. Or did you just get like a broken heart tattoo? Because I'm drawing like 2 hearts. Well, it's a heart with like, it's having me draw like a line in between the heart. So would you understand the tattoo, heart tattoo? He also wants to say he was a little bit of a troublemaker. So you would have to understand that too, as well. And if the heart isn't a tattoo, just hang on to that, because he just makes me feel like there is like a heart. And so if he's your son, maybe he's just showing me the 2 sides of the heart. But I also want to say that he's laughing because he's like, I was a bit of a troublemaker and I gave her a run for her money. And he's like, ugh. And would you understand him? He's like making me feel like he was a little bit older. So it's like, I should have known better. Like I should have grown up. So he makes me feel like he was in his 30s. Does that make sense? And I also feel like there's an anniversary coming up. I want to talk about an anniversary coming up. 24, okay. Do you understand why you'd be talking about an anniversary coming up, Ivana? And who else did I have that said yes? Suzanne. Either an anniversary or birthday that's coming up.
Birthday.
Only a birthday. Okay. And I don't know if Suzanne is still here and if she can understand this information as well. So I feel he does make me feel like I should have grown up. I should have known better. And you understand being a troublemaker, because he's like, I gave her a run for the money. I also want to talk about my vehicle. And so I hope you understand. He's just saying mine and his in a few months. He's making me feel that I need to talk about his vehicle and being, I'm just going to say it like pimped out. Okay, Suzanne, do you understand all this information as well? And I need to talk about his vehicle. Because it was cool. It was cool. My son didn't have a car. Okay. So this could be for Suzanne. Do you understand this information, Suzanne? And do you understand the name Dan and Daniel connected to him? And of course, this happens all the time, where we could have a piggyback reading where multiple people are meant to receive the message. Do you see Suzanne, Nicole?
She said yes a few comments ago when you asked if she was still here. I'm muting people left and right, so I'm a little distracted.
Okay.
Suzanne said
well, Okay, she says no. Okay. I wonder, are we able to bring
Yeah, if they
Ivana?
have enough.
Are we able to bring her up so we could hear her voice?
Ivana, let me see.
Somebody has a pimped out car because
She,
I've just
I
shown this
don't
car with
know
this.
if she has enough followers to come on. I don't know how to
Okay.
invite. Can you request to join, Ivana?
It would just be great if I could hear her voice because there's so many there's comments on here and it's
Yeah,
just
I'm trying to. Yeah, everybody please hold comments. It doesn't let me.
okay. Okay. So Ivana, I have to talk about this car, Ivana. So if this isn't your son's car, do you understand why he's talking about this car? And if this was like something he dreamed about or he was fascinated with cars, because I am being shown like baby blue, shiny, like chrome wheels, like I don't know, like I guess I would call it like a low rider or something, like those really fancy cars that kids like um, work on, or do you understand that? Why he'd be talking about that? I mean, he liked them. Okay. I don't know. It just is making me feel like this is something that you would understand. Okay, let me just keep going with him. Geez, okay. He wants you to know that he's there for you. He makes me feel like there's something going on with you right now that you are questioning, and he's saying, I got your back. So he does make me feel he's very protective over you, and oh, okay. I don't know if there's somebody that's bothering you, but it's like he's like, I got your back, I got your back. So he really needs you to know everything is going to be okay. I hope you understand what he's trying to say to you. He also wants to hand you flowers and makes me feel that this is also very important, that he would give you flowers. So he wants to hand you some flowers right now. And he's like, it was his way to get you on his good side and make you smile. So like when he would be bad or did something wrong, it's almost like he would give you flowers to cheer you up. And he's making me feel like this is what he's doing to you, for you right now, and letting you know that he's got your back, he's with you, and he wants to hand you these flowers. Okay. And I don't know if this is a broken heart that he's talking about. He just keeps having me draw hearts. So just keep those hearts in mind, and he's just showing that he's going to be sending you hearts. Okay, keep that in mind, that he'll be sending you hearts. So thank you so much, Ivana, for letting me work with you, and I hope that all makes sense. He used to draw for me all the time. Did he draw flowers for you? Is that what he used to draw? Flowers for you? Or
Teddy bear with
hearts?
a heart.
Maybe it was hearts or flowers. Yeah.
Teddy bear with a heart.
Oh, okay. Oh, awesome. Thank you, Ivana. Just know that that message for you is very important, that he's got your back and he's helping you and guiding you, and very protective over his mama.
Beautiful, beautiful. So Lori, I gave you mod power. I don't know if you got it. So just FYI. Great connection. I have a sensitive subject here. So if I'm going to be talking about you in just a second, and you don't want to talk about it, just tell me not to. Say you decline. But I have this is not an energy I've spoken with before, because I know someone else on here already has this. in their family, but this is a pregnancy loss or early birth where the baby did not make it. And if you understand that, just please put yes in the comments, and everybody else hold comments, please. It's made me feel very emotional. And this would not have been like first trimester. This would have been, you know, 5th, 6th, 7th month. If anybody understands, please let me know. And okay, wise one. You're not speaking out of turn. That's why we're here. At least second. Okay. Okay. Here we go. This is one of those groups, I guess.
Yep.
Okay. I am feeling very emotional. I am seeing a woman in the hospital with the hospital gown on when this happens. If this happened in the hospital and you still understand, please say yes. Everybody else hold comments, please. Yes, wise one. Okay. Because I can see like the band around your belly, like they have a band around your belly. Kelly, yes. Okay. We still have 3 yeses. Okay. So sometimes what happens is it's, I can't think of the word, Kathy, when a bunch of them, when it's for a group. It's making
when you piggyback on each other?
Yeah, it's making me very upset. Like I feel like I can't really concentrate or think, and I think this is just the emotions coming through. Collective. Thank you, Donna Marie.
Oh.
That's what I was trying to think. And the thin skin and the discoloration and and I feel like they're saying you were forced to go through the entire labor. You were forced to go through the entire labor. And that was something that you weren't expecting or weren't aware of happening. I just feel like this was very forced. If you understand that, yes, she was forced to. Yes. Okay. 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 Like I feel like a punch in my gut. Like I feel like not literal. I just feel a very strong pain in my upper abdomen, and I feel like hearing placenta previa, where the placenta detaches. So if you understand that there was a problem with the placenta, please say yes. It is very painful in the upper abdomen. Okay, everybody's saying no. Okay. Okay. Okay, because they're insistent this is something with the placenta. Something. Okay, a lot of pain. Okay. All right, so let me get to, since we can't be sure exactly, because there's, this is, they're saying you felt like you were alone. You felt like you were alone. So you either were actually alone without a family member because it was an emergency, or you were feeling very alone. So give me a yes. It was daughter. Yes, yes. Okay, yes. Okay. Collective for sure. Okay. So let me give the message. Okay, and this is coming in really strong. Alone and okay. Definitely collective. Definitely piggyback and collective. This is the message for everyone. That soul agreed to come in for the short time it was there. It was, and I just don't even want to say this word, but they're saying it was a lesson, not that you did anything wrong, just your life changed because of this event and went in a different direction and had a new perspective. I feel very much like I want to throw up. I don't know if one of you were throwing up during this, but I feel very much like I'm going to vomit. And it was they're saying life lesson. And then there was a fork in the road and you had to choose one way or the other. And then I feel that, and they're saying there was a broken relationship. And you had to choose one way or the other. So the message, yeah, okay, yes, lots of yeses. This is amazing that this is so similar for everyone. This doesn't happen all the time, but occasionally it does. The message is my soul is safe and unharmed. And they're talking about the possibility of the soul being talked about in the family coming back in another pregnancy with somebody else in the family. So I don't know if this is something your family has talked about, if you believe in reincarnation or anything like that, but they're making me feel like the family has discussed that. So, and I'm not sure when those yeses came in. But just know that the soul of your child is safe and at peace, and you can communicate with them at any time. And there's just nothing but love. And they're like, I know it was painful, emotionally as well as physically, but they are just love, and they're just like very powerful. Probably because there's a group of them, and but they came through very strong, and love and appreciation to you for the sacrifices that you had to make emotionally and physically. So just know you are loved, and thank you so much for allowing me to connect with your babies.
Oh, that was awesome. Oh. I just want to send extra love to those mamas. Oh. That was awesome, Nicole. Peaceful Nik.
Thank you.
Okay. I do want to talk about a gentleman stepping forward, and I feel like I need to talk about. It's funny. He's showing me like himself sporty, so I know like he would like basketball, golf. He's showing me wearing basketball shorts, and I keep hearing like Jordan shoes or like those Air Jordans or Jordans. I do feel like I transitioned early. You know, like he does make me feel like I was not 50. And I feel like his transition was very sudden and unexpected. And I also do need to talk about Valentine's Day being significant. either anniversary or this was something that you always had a tradition to do. So I know that I have a male in spirit coming through, and I do feel like this is either husband or partner. He's making me feel like he's very sporty, because I see like basketball, golf, and he's also talking about a recent trip. So I don't know if that was, you just took a recent trip. He's talking about flying. So do I have anybody that can understand, I'm going to say husband or partner in spirit, that is talking about being very sporty, wearing like basketball shoes, basketball shorts, liking golf. Valentine's Day was a very significant holiday. Either it was your anniversary or you always had a tradition at Valentine's Day. And he's talking about a recent trip and
You have
flying.
100. Selah Pierce. 100%.
Oh, I just got chills. Okay. So this is true. So you understand, he wanted to let you know that he was just on this recent trip with you. And he's showing me flying. So you understand flying, recently going on a trip, because he's making me feel like, yes, I was with you. I also want to talk about butterfly wings or wings. So I don't know if it makes me feel like this is significant, and I feel like this is a tattoo. So do you understand having butterfly wings, angel wings, some kind of wings tattooed? Because he's making me feel like this is very important as well. You just flew for vacation. So it's very important that you know that he was with you on this vacation, because he just showed me this recent trip. So
You have a couple of them now.
Oh, okay.
Wise one and Selah.
Okay. Does everybody else understand 100%? Because first thing he showed me was this sportiness. No wings for a tattoo. Okay. Do you understand a butterfly? I don't know why he's showing me butterfly. He keeps having me draw a butterfly. Because he's making me feel like pink butterflies are very significant, and I don't know if this is referring to you or your children. But let me keep going. You also understand. Okay.
You have a couple of different
Yeah.
ones. The one of them, fairy wings, wise one said fairy wings. Selah said no wings for a tattoo. And the court says butterflies on my phone.
Again, this could be one of those collective or piggyback readings. Okay. Let me just, I really want to narrow this down. I know that Valentine's Day is very significant. It's either an anniversary or there was a tradition, like an annual tradition. So you'd have to understand that Valentine's Day is very significant. Either it's your anniversary or there's a very significant tradition. So of the people that have said yes, we would have to understand that. Does everybody who said yes understand that? We started dating on Valentine's Day. Okay. And you, okay. So
Wise
hard.
one said it must be court.
Okay. Okay.
So court, I think, is your person.
Okay. Court. Okay. So, and court understands the butterfly or the wings. Sorry.
Yeah.
I just need to make sure.
Angel tattoo and butterflies on her phone.
Okay. Yeah. Because butterflies are very significant. Okay. And this would be your husband in spirit court? Or partner, husband or partner? I feel a husband. Yeah. Okay, let me just keep going. He's very sporty, and he wants to come and just let you know that, hey, I'm doing great, and I'm back to my my he's just like bouncing around. So I know that he has a lot of energy, and he's like, I need her to see that I'm bouncing around. I'm good. You know, he just makes me feel like I need to say, I'm okay. I'm okay. And you need to know I'm okay. And do you also have daughter, partner? We never got. Okay. Do you share a daughter? Do you share a daughter? Because I feel like I need to talk about a daughter. I need to talk about a little girl. Court, do you understand sharing a daughter?
She just had a daughter.
Oh, okay. So this is just his way of letting you know that he understands and was with you and guiding you and helping you through that. Okay. Oh, so he knows your daughter. Oh, how awesome. Okay. He also wants to talk about the pink bows. So did you put pink bows on her head? Or pink bows, he's saying the pink bows. I know about the bows. Okay. It's interesting because he really needs to get a message across, because he makes me feel that you need to understand, just like the other reading, you need to understand that everything is going to be okay. So what you're going through right now is going to get better. He's just letting you know what you're going through right now is going to get better. Just like you overcame my transition, you can overcome this. Whatever you are going through right now, he's sending you a lot of support and strength that you are going to, it's like you're going to prevail. And he wants you to know that he's happy, at peace, and he's safe. He also wants to say thank you, because he says you kept some of his things. You kept some of his things very close, and he's saying thank you. And I do want to talk, is it a necklace? Because I feel like I need to talk about the necklace. So do you have his necklace or something to do with it? Oof, something to do with around the neck. But he's just saying thank you. Things are going to be great. Things are going to be okay. So much love to you. So much love to you. So thank you so much for letting me work with you. Oh, yes, and I just did her nursery with pink ballerinas with bows. Oh, how awesome.
And she said another.
His initials on my necklace. Oh, you're welcome.
Beautiful. I have a full day of like readings and lives tomorrow, so I am going to call it a night. Thank you, Lori, for helping mod and everyone who joined. I will just say I have a Valentine's Day buy one get one free coupon. If you buy a full reading, you get a free one. You just have to register by February 29th, and you'll get the coupon through the email. I have weekday 2024 coupon for weekday readings. I'm doing weekdays. I have mini medium Mondays. I have a free class coming up February 10th. March 16th is my beginner's mentorship. And please subscribe on my YouTube. I will be doing a lot of lives over there. And you can find all my stuff, linked up, where. And Kathy, you want to share yours?
Sure. If you want to schedule a reading with me, you can go to my website, kathybehrens.com. If you are a Helping Parents Heal member, I'm doing a gallery event on February 6th, so please feel free to join. Again, that's Helping Parents Heal. So if you have a child in spirit and you need a little extra support, please check out Helping Parents Heal. It's a wonderful organization. And again, I'll be doing a gallery reading on February 6th. And I believe it starts at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
Wonderful.
And yes, thank you, Lori. Good to see you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for all the gifts and for everyone who joined and respectfully commented. Sorry, I was a little distracted this evening, as you can imagine why.
I saw that.
Lots of muting and
Yeah,
blocking. Um, so we'll probably be live again next week at some point.
yeah,
Should we do
for
a
sure.
regular, like weekly, if it's
Yeah,
in
we
the
should.
schedule?
Let's talk about it for
Okay.
sure. I think we should.
Okay, wonderful. Susie
Oh,
says,
Susie.
yeah.
Oh, I will see you there.
And that last
February 6th.
reading you did was beautiful. Beautiful. Very, very nicely done. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you again soon. Follow us on all our stuff, on all our socials.
All right.
Good
Bye.
night. Bye.